Elon Musk a step closer to his actual takeover of Twitter. The board has met of that company and they have approved Elon's takeover bid. So what does this mean? How do we get to this point? Where are we going? What does it mean for free speech? All that good stuff. We got Kara Frederick with us now, director of the Tech Policy Center at the Heritage Foundation, former Facebook employee. She knows how these big tech companies work. Kara, thanks for being back with us.
Of course. Thanks for having me, Buck.
So how much of a milestone is this, that Elon's actually gotten the approval of the board over at Twitter? First of all, are you surprised at all? Is this what you were expecting? And where do we go from here?
Look, I will say I'm a little surprised. The last time I was on the program, I was like, I'll give it 50-50 at this point because they've thrown up obstacles in his way again and again and again. The joint SEC DOJ investigation, allegations of sexual misconduct, the board taking the poison pill from the beginning. So I was not so sanguine about this actually coming to fruition. So I think this is a pretty big milestone. But as Elon himself has said today, there's three things that are still unresolved that need to be fixed basically before this goes forward. One, the bot issue, right? He wants to get it under 5%. Number two, the funding, that all has to come together. And number three, the shareholders still have to vote to approve this takeover. So three things, some little, some not so little, but again, this is a massive win, I think, for the people on the side of free speech and for Elon himself.
So what are the steps then? I mean, you mentioned, so there'd be voter approval, stock shareholder approval. Do we have any idea of what a timeline could be before? I mean, basically, people want to know, when are all the libs who are crying at their desks at the mere prospect of free speech and Twitter, when are the tears going to start to flow because this is a done deal and it's all over for the open censorship of conservatives on Twitter?
You know, I think they should get the tissues out at this point. I'm not quite sure exactly when in terms of a timeline, but I do think the shareholders would be wise to vote in favor of this because right now Twitter is trading considerably below what Elon's actually offering per share for the company. Stocks are up a little bit. I think 1% was the last figure I saw before I came on here. But, you know, it is, I think, the fiduciary duty of the board. They did it, right? They said yes, and for their shareholders to actually let Elon take this thing over. So I think that the libs better get their tissues out. And again, Parag Agrawal and all of his lackeys better keep cleaning up the platform because at this point, I think Elon's coming.
If Twitter becomes a true free speech guided platform, right? I mean, Elon's always said illegal stuff will still be illegal. You know, you can't operate a digital, illegal drug market or something on the platform. Obviously, there are going to be some things that they still don't allow and police. But if Twitter does actually allow, important political debate from both sides of the aisle as part of its mission going forward, do you think that will have a meaningful impact on the way some of the other platforms, notably your former employer, Facebook, maybe even TikTok, approach censorship? Because then they won't all be in it together, right? At least there'll be a break in the chains or a break in the links of the chain of collusion here.
You know, Buck, you took the words out of my mouth. Number one, I have no hope for TikTok. So take that CCP-owned nonsense out of here. Do what you got to do to get the kids off TikTok. Throw it away. Table that for a second. Facebook, potentially. But what you said is the bigger issue. It's breaking that ideological monopoly. What most people don't know is that these tech companies, they move in concert. So Google's going to look to Facebook. Facebook's going to look to Twitter. They're all going to look at each other and see, are you making this decision? Okay, we're going to follow suit. We feel comfortable when one tech company makes a content moderation decision, so we can make it too.